if I were to give someone advice when they want to know how can they change their reality, how can they start manifesting a completely different quality of life, if there was just one thing to focus on, it would be change your self-talk. Change the way you are talking to yourself. Change the words that your mind is hearing, because we are with ourselves 24/7. The majority of our thoughts are often on autopilot. The majority of what we think, what we say, how we react, how we feel about our life today is a duplicate of what we felt yesterday and the day before and the day before. And sometimes we're in patterns. We've been in them for so many years, or we inherited them, we copied them from the environment we grew up in. So much of what we do is on autopilot. And so robotic affirming and things like that is basically like overwriting the system and deciding to take conscious control over what are the thoughts that are running around and around in our head. And I'm no neuroscientist, okay? I won't claim to be, but neuroscience does fascinate me. And I remember learning about how we have these neural pathways in our brain, and thoughts travel through the brain along these neural pathways. And the brain is very efficient. So we may have one neural pathway, one thought pattern, which is really strong because we've been thinking it over and over and over and over again. And it might be a negative thought pattern. It might be a limiting thought pattern. And if that is our dominant neural pathway, our brain is always going to fire in that direction. And we won't even consciously be aware of it, but it might show up in our lives like we can never seem to earn over a certain amount of money, or we keep attracting the same kind of relationship over and over and over again. And it's just because there's a neural pathway that might be programmed to something limited, like money's really hard for me to make, or all guys are toxic, or all girls are toxic, or whatever it might be. And therefore we keep manifesting that. So if we can create a new neural pathway, and using things like robotic affirming helps you to basically feed more and more energy down the new neural pathway. And like you said, it can feel boring sometimes, it can feel monotonous sometimes, it can feel like a lot of effort sometimes, because you are literally taking the plane off autopilot and choosing to fly it in a different direction. But if you do that enough, eventually the new limitless, more positive neural pathway will grow stronger. And once it becomes stronger than the old one, your brain will automatically start going down that new pathway. And that is how you rewire your subconscious mind. And ultimately, that's what manifestation is about. You can try all the techniques in the world, but if your subconscious mind is still programmed to something limited, you're going to keep manifesting that limited result.
Yeah, there's so much what you said right there that I kind of want to